Hello everybody, today we're solving equations in quadratic form using substitution. We have our first equation here, 1 over 9 to the power x minus 28 times 3 to the power negative x plus 27 equals 0. So we're going to put this equation in quadratic form, all right? So 1 over 9 is the same as 9 to the power negative 1, right, times x, or to the power x, minus 28 times 3 to the power negative x plus 27 equals 0. All right, so here let's convert this 9 into the base of 3. All right, so first, before we do that, negative 1 times x, that gives us negative x. So we have 9 to the power negative x minus 28, 3 to the power negative x plus 27 equals 0. Now, as I said, we're going to convert 9 into the base of 3. So 9 is the same as 3 to the power 2. All right, minus 28 times 3 to the power negative x plus 27 equals 0. Right, now if you notice, all right, 3 to the power 2 times the power of negative x can be written as this: 3 to the power negative x squared minus 28, 3 to the power negative x plus 27 equals 0. Now we have our equation in quadratic form. Notice that this 3 to the power negative x is twice this 3 to the power negative x. So this is where the substitution comes in. So I'm going to say let x equal 3 to the power negative x. So where we have a 3 to the power negative x, we substitute it with x. So notice our equation now becomes x squared minus 28x plus 27 equals 0. Now we can solve it like a quadratic equation, right? So our a in this case is negative 1, while b is negative 28. A is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is our constant 27. All right, so remember when we're solving quadratic equations, we have to multiply a times c. So we say, oh, a is actually 1. Sorry, a is 1. All right, so we multiply a times c. That's 1 times 27. That gives us 27 here. We'll find two numbers so that if you multiply them, they give you 27. And if you add them, they give you negative 28. So those two numbers are negative 1 and negative 27. All right. Negative 1 and negative 27. All right. Negative 1 times negative 27, it gives us positive 27. Negative 21 plus negative 27 gives us negative 28. So we can factorize our quadratic equation to become x minus 1. Let me just put this here. It's going to become x minus 1, close brackets, x minus 27. All right. So we equate both to 0. X minus 1 was 0. Therefore, x equals 1. X minus 27 equals 0. Therefore, x equals 27. Now, we are not yet done, all right, because these values of x, what we're going to do now, all right, remember, we said x is equal to 3 to the power negative x. Remember, if you remember, we substituted our x here. Let x be 3 to the power negative x. So we have to resubstitute again. All right. So remember, so we have one equation, 3 to the power negative x equals 1. And the other one here is 3 to the power negative x equals 27. All right. Remember, these values of x, we substituted them for 3 to the power negative x. Now we can find the value of x. So this now brings us to exponential equations with an unknown exponent. Our unknown exponent is negative x. All right. So 3 to the power negative x, we have to put both sides in the base of 3. 1 is the same as 3 to the power 0. Right. So since we have same basis, we'll say negative x equals 0. Then we multiply both sides by negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1. And therefore, x equals 0. Right. And for our second equation here, again, we have to put both sides in the base of 3. So 3 to the power negative x equals 27 is the same as 3 to the power 3. Right. So since we have them in similar bases, we'll say negative x equals 3. Again, we multiply both sides by negative 1. And x equals 3. Or x equals negative 3. So that's how we solve the equation. All right. Let's go to another example. All right. We have 4 to the power x minus 5 to the power 5 minus 5 times 2 to the power x minus 24 equals 0. So the same thing here. All right. Let's aim to put our this 4 to the power x in the base of 2. All right. So remember, 4 is the same as 2 to the power 2. So we have 2 to the power 2, the power x minus 5 times 2 to the power x minus 24 equals 0. All right. So 2 to the power 2 times x, we can rewrite it as 2 to the power x squared. All right. So this is twice this one. All right. 5 times 2 to the power 2x minus 24 equals 0. All right. This 2 to the power x is twice this 2 to the power x. So we have it in quadratic form. So we do substitution. We say let x equal 2 to the power x. All right. So now we have x squared minus 5x minus 24, 0. Now we can solve this quadratic equation by factorization, right? So what is our a? Our coefficient of x squared is 1. B, coefficient of x is negative 5. C is negative 24. So I'm going to say a times c, that equals 1 times negative 24. That gives us negative 24. So we have to find two factors of 24. When you multiply them, they give you negative 24. When you add them, they give you negative 5. So those two factors are 3 and negative 8. 3 times negative 8, you get negative 24. 3 plus negative 8, you get negative 5. So we can factorize our equation here. It's going to become x plus 3 x minus 8. All right, now we equate x to 0. All right, so x plus 3 equals 0, x minus 8 equals 0. So x equals negative 3 and x equals positive 8. Now remember, we substituted x, right? We said let x equals to 2x. So we're going to substitute again. So we're going to say x is the same as 2 to the power x equals negative 3. Then we have 2 to the power x equals 8. Again, we're back to exponential equations with the unknown exponent. Right, so for this one, 2 to the power x equals negative 3. We cannot make both sides into similar bases. All right, it is not possible. So this one will just end here, okay? But here, 2 to the power x equals 8. 8 can be put into the base of 2. All right, so we're going to say 2x equals 8 can is 2 to the power 3. All right, since we have similar bases, therefore we say x equals 3. So that is our value of x. All right, and we'll do one more. We have x to the power 6 minus 9 x cubed plus 8 equals 0. So we can see x to the power 6 is twice as x to the power 3. So let's make the x to the power 6 in the form of x to the power 3. So remember, it can be simplified. So we can have x to the power 3 times x to the power 3 to the power 2. Okay? X to the power 3 to the power 2. 3 times 2, that gives us 6, right? So we have x to the power 3 raised to the power 2 minus 9x to the power 3 plus 8 equals 0. All right, now we can substitute. All right, so you're going to say, okay, in this case, we'll say let u equal x to the power 3. Right, so now we're going to have u squared minus 9u plus 8 equals 0. Solve this quadratic equation by factoring. All right, our a is the coefficient of u squared, that is 1. B is the coefficient of u, which is negative 9. C equals 8. So a times c equals 1 times 8, which gives us 8. I'll find two factors of 8 that when you multiply them, they give you positive 8, and when you add them, they give you negative 9. So those two factors are negative 1 and negative 8. So we're going to have u minus 1 and also u minus 8. All right. We can solve. So u minus 1 equals 0, u minus 8 equals 0, u on this side equals 1, this side u equals 8. Now remember, u has been substituted with x to the power 3, right? So we bring it back. We're going to say x to the power 3 equals 1 on this side, x to the power 3 equals 8. All right, so we find the cube root of x, get our value of x. So we get the cube root of x and the cube root of 1. Then this side, cube root of x, the cube root of 1. So the cube root of 1 is 1, so x equals 1. And the cube root of 8 is 2, therefore x equals 2. So we are done. So usually when you're dealing with such equations, make sure that one side is twice the other side.